Bremen still your leaders over in the Zweite Bundesliga, of course hoping to get himself back to the Bundesliga at the first time of asking. But will they actually do it? We'll take a little look next. Prediction video today. We look forward to match number 25. That's right, over in the Zweite Bundesliga, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe and get you bang up to all things Rovers related, Bundesliga 5 related, what football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Ruski, of course. Yes, Werder Bremen kept up the heat at the top of the table, just 1 point clear now over the likes of Darmstadt and St. Pauli. It is a very, very tight race. Not only there's no breakaway, run away with it at the moment. Of course, anybody's guess as to who's actually going to get promoted. You'd still probably go all the way down to 7th for, of course, automatic bins, and then who knows about the playoffs. It's very, very tight. And of course, down the foot of the table, it of course is a bit of a different one. Of course, with Ingolstadt and Erzgebirge looking like they're going to go down. With of course the chase back. We'll look at all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs there, the patrons, guys. Thank you for loving, of course, behind the scenes. But anyway, we're going to jump at the deep end. Of course, brand new month, the month of March. Did you win the predictor of the month for the month of February? We'll see about that. Kicking on forward, Hamburger SV did lose to Werder Bremen. Goals galore in this one. 5-goal thriller, 3-2 in the end for Werder Bremen. Karlsruher picked up a draw against Schalke, of course they did. Meanwhile, Heidenheim picked up also a draw against SV Sandhausen. Paderborn also a 3-3 draw. All the goals in that game, 6 in the end, 3-3. Of course, a bit of a clanger, you would say, for Paderborn. Meanwhile, Hannover 96, 2-0 winners over Holstein Kiel. Jahn Regensburg also picked up a 0-0 draw against Düsseldorf, with Dresden losing at home to Darmstadt. Hansa Rostock, of course, picking up a big win over Nürnberg to move. Where the heck are they now? Still in 16th. They're in a bit of trouble themselves. And Ingolstadt did lose to St. Pauli. That's, of course, the state of play in the last games. What about, of course, the table? The table looks like this. Of course, Werder Bremen running away with it at the moment. Like I said, 1 point clear of the likes of Darmstadt and St. Pauli, who are, of course, 3 points clear of the likes of Hamburg, and then, of course, Schalke. But then, of course, there's a whole host of them right in the thick of things. You probably, like I said, 7th is probably it. I think Paderborn might get into the discussion for the playoffs or that relegation, whatever it is, that third. Basically, it's top 2 go up. Third spot is, of course, it's lucky dip against the relegation playoffs. So you got to be in the top 3 really to be in, but there's no 7th or anything other than that. So quite spicy at the end of it. Same said down the foot, bottom 2 go down, and then the likes of Rostock, Sandhausen, Dynamo, Dresden, Düsseldorf are right in that thick of things for the relegation discussion. And of course, don't rule out like 6 and 9-ish there. Of course, Holstein Kiel, if they were to lose a couple more games as well. And Regensburg, remember them top bins for, of course, best part of the season. They're down there in 10th. Let's take a look at our own little table. This is for this week and this week alone. Take a bloody bow. James Beasley FC are great with 6 bins there, guys. Well done to you. Of course, a big shout out to my patrons in there doing the bit as they do. What about, of course, the mini leaderboard? We'll take a little look at it. Here it comes. Of course, kicking ass and taking it into the second half of the season. It is Nadicam, Ultra Omeo, both picking up 28 points on the board so far for the second half of the season. So well done to you guys. And of course, chasing back with Shepherd and of course, Deep at the Great in third as well. So there's, of course, the state to play there. Of course, we're going to bring you back up to date though with the prediction of the month award. Predictor of the month award is the person or the persons that accumulate the most points over the course of the last month, which was, of course, February. You can win multiple months, and of course, you can be multiple winners. And of course, if you are one of those multiple winners, of course, you will be in the Wall of Fame, and of course, one of those names will be selected at random at the end of the season to become the predictor of the month champion. Of course, here the winner is Frosty. Look at that. Happy days, of course. Ended a bit of a dominance there, of course, from the Nadicam. Nadicam, Hans Wurst, Carmuckin, and now Frosty are in the mix for, of course, that's that prize at the end of the season. So well done to you guys. Let's take a look at, of course, the overall grand scheme of things. Well, here you go. Of course, the winner at the moment is, of course, Nadicam with 98 points, 10 points clear of Deep at the Great, who's got a couple of points over, of course, Worsty and, of course, Ultra Omamura. So big shout out to you guys. Big shout out, of course, to the patrons who are doing very, very well, supporting the channel behind the scenes. Like I said, not like I said, but like I said. But anyway, let's get into it. The next round of matches, of course, Cutly Fortress Bundesliga 5. Getting amongst it, free to enter. Great way to start now, even if you've not been here all season. Great way to start. So let's get into it then. Kicking on forward with Nürnberg up against Hamburg SV. Let's jump in the deep end on this badger then. Hamburger SV going to Nürnberg, of course. It takes place on Saturday, March the 5th. Let's jump at the deep end on this. Of course, played the 35 times in 1992. 5 was to Nürnberg, 21 was to Hamburg, and 9 draws. Of course, Nürnberg, they're winning for the last 6, of course, 67% form. Up against the Nürnberg, Hamburg side just lost, winless in 2, 75% form. However, just 1 defeat past 6 for them. 75% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around in Nürnberg, it was in the league, it was a 1-1 draw back in January 2021. That was in the Zweite Tier. However, they also played this season in Nürnberg. It was a 4-2 win for Hamburg in the DFB Pokal. They also played each other in Hamburg. It was a 2-2 draw as well. So Hamburg unbeaten against Nürnberg at the last 6 occasions, picking up four wins and 2 draws as well. Hamburg, they're picking up a 3-2 loss against Bremen last time around. Nürnberg, they're coming on back-to-back clean sheets, back-to-back 2-0 wins as well. The odds here, 20-10 is your host, 25 is your draw, and 5-4 is your away, and that's Hamburg. So I'm going to go with a draw here myself. Could go either way, of course, so we'll look forward to see what happens on this one. Kicking it forward, it will be St. Pauli, of course, right in the thick of things for promotion up against Karlsruher, of course, at the Malanato Stadion. Played each other 27 times in 1995, 9 wins apiece and 9 draws, of course. Just 1 defeat of the past 4 games for St. Pauli, 58% form. Meanwhile, Karlsruher coming to us unbeaten the last 3, also 58% form over the last 6. Last time around, though, in St. Pauli was a 3-0 win for Karlsruher. That's back in November 2020. The reverse fixture in Karlsruhe was a 3-1 win for St. Pauli back in September. In fact, the home side's only won once for the last 6, and that was when St. Pauli beat Karlsruhe back in February 2017. Meanwhile, St. Pauli pick up a 3-1 win over Ingolstadt, of course, and Karlsruhe pick up a draw against Schalke last time around. The odds here for this one, 2017 on is your St. Pauli, 3-1 is your away, as your draw, 14-5 is your away win as Karlsruhe. Going to go with the hosts here, 2-0 win for them, keep the heat at the top of the table, and maybe get themselves closer to the Bundesliga. Kicking off for us, Darmstadt. That's right, up against Heidenheim. That's on Friday night. Of course, looking on at the Merkstadion and Bullenfato. Of course, played each other 19 times, 2008. 5 wins for Darmstadt, 8 wins for Heidenheim, and 6 draws. Just 1 defeat though in the past 6 for Darmstadt right now. Up against the Heidenheim side, just 1 defeat past 6 for them, 58% form. Also, last time round in Darmstadt, it was a 5-1 win for Darmstadt back in May 2021. The reverse fixture in Heidenheim was a 2-1 win for Heidenheim as well. Of course, the away side's only won once in the past 6 games on this one. That was when Heidenheim beat Darmstadt in Darmstadt way back, of course, to February 2019. Darmstadt picking up a 1-0 win over Dresden last time around. Heidenheim picking up back-to-back 1-1 draws. Of course, picking up the last one against Sandhausen. The odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, what we're looking at here, we're looking at Darmstadt 2017 on for the victory, 5-2 is draw, and 3-1 is your away. We're going to go with Darmstadt here with a 2-1 win for them to keep up the heat as well towards the top end of the table. Sandhausen locking horns up against Hannover 96. That's on Saturday, March the 5th. Now, these two sides have played 7 times, 2016, 3 for Sandhausen, 1 for Hannover, and 3 draws. Of course, Sandhausen unbeaten in the last 5, picking up 3 draws and 2 wins. Of course, 58% form. Meanwhile, Hannover just 1 defeat past 6 for them. Of course, 67% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around, though, in Sandhausen, it was a 4-2 win for Sandhausen back in April 2021. The reverse fixture in Hannover was a 2-1 win for Sandhausen as well. So Hannover picking up just 1 win in 6 against Sandhausen over the course of now, all the way to 2017. Meanwhile, Hannover picking up a 2-0 win over Holstein Kiel. Back-to-back clean sheets, though, for them. Back-to-back wins as well, scoring 5 goals without return. Meanwhile, Sandhausen picking up back-to-back 1-1 draws and back-to-back, in fact, 3 draws on the spin for them as well. Kicking it forward on the odds for this one, 20-10 is your host, 25 is your draw, 65 is your away win. That's Hannover 96. Going to go with the away win here for me. For them, of course, maybe get back to the hunt for something. I don't think they're in the mix for promotion. But anyway, we'll see. Erzgebirge out, taking on, of course, Jahn Regensburg, of course, taking place on Sunday, of course, the 6th of March. Now, these two sides have played 18 times, 10 wins for Erzgebirge out, 4 for Regensburg, and 4 draws as well. Erzgebirge haven't won in the last 10 games. Meanwhile, Jahn Regensburg have won the last 6. Both coming in on 17% form. That's 2 draws at the last 6 kind of form as well. Meanwhile, coming at you, last round at Erzgebirge out, so 2-0 win for Regensburg. That's back in December 2020. The reverse fixture was, of course, back in September. It was a 3-2 win for Regensburg in Regensburg as well. So Regensburg unbeaten against Erzgebirge out in the last 3, picking up 2 wins and a draw. They come just on the back of a draw, 3-3 against Paderborn. Of course, Regensburg picking up a 0-0 draw against Düsseldorf. The odds on this one then, 21-10 is your host, 13-5 is your draw, 23-20 is your away win. Tight, airtight. Going to go with a 0-0 draw myself on this one. Kicking off was Werder Bremen up against Dynamo Dresden, of course, taking place on Sunday, March the 6th. Now, these two sides have played 8 times since 1992. 4 wins for Bremen, 3 for Dresden, and 1 draw. Of course, Bremen, no, 92% form for them right now. Of course, haven't lost in the last 9 games, picking up 5 wins in the past 6, 92% form up against the Dresden side, who have just lost twice in the past 6. The rest have been draws, though. They haven't won in the last 7 games. Goodness gracious me. The last time they played each other over in Bremen, it was a 1-0 win for Bremen. That was back in, February 1995. Wow, it was a 1-0 win for Bremen. They did play each other in Dresden. Back in September, it was a 3-0 win for Dresden as well. Kicking on forward, last time around, though, Bremen pick up a 3-2 win over Hamburg, and Dresden did lose to Darmstadt last time around. The odds here for Werder Bremen, 29 on for the victory, 10-3 is your draw, and 13-2 is your away win. That's Dresden. Going to go with Werder Bremen here, 2-0 win. Of course, they're on their way back to the Bundesliga. It looks like it. Schalke, can they join them up against Hansa Rostock, of course, over in Schalke at the Veltins Arena. Played each other 24 times in 1995. 11 was for Schalke, 8 for Rostock, and 5 draws. Of course, just 1 defeat though in the past 6 games for Schalke. 67% form up against the Rostock side, who just won once in the past 6. 33% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around in Schalke was a 1-0 win for Schalke. That was back in April 2008. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture in Rostock was a 2-0 win for Schalke as well. So Schalke have actually beaten Rostock back-to-back in competitive action, back-to-back clean sheets against them as well. They haven't lost against Rostock in the last 4 matches in actual competitive action, picking up 2 wins and 2 draws as well. Rostock's last win over Schalke was in Schalke back in August 2004, and it was a 2-0 win back in the Bundesliga. Schalke picked up a draw against Karlsruher. Of course, Rostock did lose to Nürnberg. The odds here: Schalke 5-4 on for the victory, 10-3 is draw, and 40-5 is your away win. That's a Rostock on this one. Going to go with the host here, 3-1 win for Schalke to take it to the house. Kicking off into the final 2 is Düsseldorf. They're going to be locking arms up against Ingolstadt, of course, on Sonntag, 6 March. That's right, placed at the 12 times 2010, 6 wins for Düsseldorf, 3 for Ingolstadt, and 3 draws. Of course, Düsseldorf just 1 defeat in the past 5, 58% form up against Ingolstadt, just 1 win in the past 6 for them, 33% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around though, in Düsseldorf was a 3-0 win for Düsseldorf. That was back in April 2018. The reverse fixture in Ingolstadt was a 2-1 win for Düsseldorf as well. Düsseldorf picking up 3 wins out of 3 against Ingolstadt in all competitive actions, all venues as well. And last time Ingolstadt picked up a win was in the Zweite Bundesliga back in November 2017, and it was in Ingolstadt. Meanwhile, coming at you though, Düsseldorf pick up a 0-0 draw against Regensburg. Ingolstadt did lose to St. Pauli last time around. The odds here: 13-8 on is your Düsseldorf. Of course, 14-5 is draw, and 92 is your away. And of course, Düsseldorf should be your favourites, and of course, they are mine with a 1-0 win in the end. And then finally, is Holstein Kiel kicking us off. They actually kick us all off on, of course, Friday up against Paderborn 0-7. Played each other 12 times 2002, 4 wins apiece and 4 draws. Holstein Kiel, though, come to us on back-to-back defeats for them, 58% form. Up against Paderborn side, just won once in 6, 42% form for them. At the moment, of course, last time around, though, in Holstein Kiel, it was a 1-0 win for Kiel. That was back in September 2020. The reverse fixture in Paderborn was a 2-1 for Kiel, of course, as well. So Kiel unbeaten against Paderborn over the last 3 occasions, pick up 2 wins and a draw. Of course, Paderborn now picking up a 3-3 draw against Erzgebirge. Holstein Kiel, they'll come to us on back-to-back defeats, back-to-back goalless affairs as well. The odds on this one are 23-20 is your host, 11-5 is your Paderborn, of course, 25-2 is your draw. I would back Paderborn, surely. Nope, gone with Holstein Kiel, 2-1 win in the end to take it to the house. Well, that's, of course, my picks. Be sure to get your own picks, of course. Remember, it's a brand new month. Get your name in lights. Cut the /Bundesliga 2 is the dealio there. Make sure you smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Facebook, and I'm also on Patreon. But until then, dudes, we're done for now. We'll be back, of course, next weekend to see who's going on and, of course, who's closer to the promotion. We'll take a look at it, all of it, next time around. But until then, dudes, we're done for now.